All right, first thing I want to touch base about is graduation is going to be at Lucas Oil Stadium this year, not Bankers Life. Bankers Life is undergoing a major renovation, so they're doing some construction. They have kicked the fever out for the summer, for the next 3 summers, because they're doing construction. So that means we're out too. So for the next 3 years, we're going to hold our graduations at Lucas Oil Stadium. Mr. Shepler and a team of us have been working really hard to make sure that's done. Everything is finalized except signing the contract. So I just want to make sure you guys know that. You guys will still get 10 tickets per person for free, no more, no less. But it is a great venue. It's a really nice venue, obviously. Hopefully we'll win a state championship again there this year in football and in band so that we can go down on the field. And track, although track doesn't run there, so okay. I still see some phones out, so this is my last request because I don't want to call anybody out and I don't want to take anybody out. Just pay attention. That's all I'm asking you to do. Put the phones away, earbuds out. Put the phones away, earbuds out. Thank you, dear. Okay, next thing I want to talk about. Next slide. Your team is here to help, but we don't know. If you need help, we don't know that unless you talk to us about it. So make sure you're opening up to asking questions of and asking how you can get help from Mr. Geimer, Mr. Green, Ms. Lindbergh. I'm a substitute for Mr. Barclay today because Mr. Barclay and his wife had a baby, so they are out for a couple weeks. So good for the Barclay family. But make sure you utilize your team. That is going to be key on getting you to the finish line. Next thing I want to talk about is IDs and lanyards. We didn't anticipate the lanyards not being gold, as you didn't anticipate that. So we didn't realize that was going to happen. We apologize that you didn't get gold lanyards. I know some of you guys have waited 3 years to get the gold ones. We're sorry about that, sincerely. However, they're printed and they're expensive. And so the expectation is you have it on you all the time, invisible, all the time. The only class that's doing that is the freshmen right now, and obviously we don't want the freshmen setting a better example than the seniors. And I will tell you this, it's being discussed in administration team meetings already. The announcements are going to start happening randomly in different periods. 4th period, for example, they may say, teachers, check your students for their lanyards and IDs, and if they don't have them, write the referral. I'm telling you it's going to happen in advance so that you can plan for and make sure you have them on. For example, if you show up to the football game and you don't have a lanyard, you will not be allowed to purchase a ticket. If you have a pit pass and you don't have your lanyard, you will not be able to come into the game. Lanyards are going to be key this year. If you guys have watched the news, this last week, some very unfortunate things have happened with safety and security in 3 of the mixed schools. We don't want stuff happening like that here. The key to keeping that from happening, some of that key is right here. We want to know if you're a part of our building, you're a part of our school, we want to know when you walk by. Otherwise, we're going to stop you and ask you what you're doing here. Part of that, too, is communication with the staff. Every time we've had a minor situation, you guys have been really good about coming to us and saying, hey, this person doesn't belong in this class, or hey, this person doesn't belong in the building, or I saw somebody let somebody in that doesn't belong here. And we appreciate that. Please continue that communication. Are we good with that? Yes, sir. Okay, I don't want anybody getting surprised when they're like, oh, I didn't know that I had to have it on me. It's supposed to be either on your neck or on your waist if you don't like it on your neck. Yes, sir. Everybody that's supposed to be coming in is supposed to have an ID. Even parents. Obviously they don't have a school ID, right? Yeah, but, and the reason for that is because I can't tell if it was a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old, right? That's maybe a senior. So but they should have their ID on them. Yep, and we're going to be sending out a call about that tonight. Okay? All right. I don't mean to discourage you because I definitely want you to come and support the football team tomorrow as we beat up on Center Grove, but please make sure you guys know that that's happening. Real quick about absences, and I'm going to turn it over. Attendance is key. The goal of you being here at school is to learn. The goal of the teachers is to teach so you learn. You guys need to be at school for that to happen. Don't misunderstand me. If you're sick, stay home. Have mom, grandma, aunt, dad, whoever, call you in sick though, so it's excused. And here's why that's so key. Last year, we had a number of seniors who didn't pass the I-STEP and who didn't have a pathway. And when that happens, those files come to my office, and I have to review them for a waiver. State law mandates you have to have a 95% attendance rate, which means you can't miss more than 36 days in your high school career unexcused. It's really easy to go through those files and just stamp denied on those files because they haven't met that. And unfortunately, 90% of the kids who came that didn't meet the waiver was because of attendance. Don't let that be the case. Make sure somebody calls you in. But I'm also saying there are days when I don't feel like being here just because I need a mental health day or whatever. You need to be here. I need to be here. And I want to make sure this doesn't fall on deaf ears because I want to make sure you guys know the conversation I'm having with you is the exact same conversation I had with my staff last night at my staff meeting. It's the exact same conversation that Mr. Shepler had with his entire staff earlier. The expectation is for teachers to be here. It drives us crazy when you report to a class and you have a substitute teacher. I understand teachers have kids that get sick, teachers get sick. But when we're missing days on Mondays and Fridays so that we can have a long weekend, that's unacceptable. And Mr. Shepler is addressing that, and I want you guys to know that. So don't feel like the expectation is here for you and is here for the teachers, because that's not the case. Things are being stepped up and ramped up all over across the board. Okay? Any questions for me before I pass it on to the team? Perfect. Thank you guys for your attention. I will pass it on to Mr. Geimer, Mr. Green, and Ms. Lindenberg.
All right, so for communication purposes, like always, we have communicated with you through email and then through Google Classroom. If you don't have the code, but most of you guys are on the code or on the classroom, then it's up there for us. And then ASVAB, I'm going to be talking about it later on. It is September 5th. September 5th, we are going to take the ASVAB. If you need to take it, then you'll be receiving a ticket. I'll come talk to you. The counselor will talk to you. It's in the back. Your names are in the back. So there's several places so that you'll know. We have a Google Classroom tutoring support that you can log into, and there's the pin at the bottom there. So here's the forms of communication for the next couple weeks that we're going to have for you.
And we also just want to stress how important it is to check your email on a regular basis and to check the Google Classroom on a regular basis. If you are a new student this year, make sure you're getting on our Google Classroom. With 4 of us as a cohort team and 900 students, it's very hard to get information out to everyone. So that's why we have to rely on these forms of communication. Okay, so changing it up a little bit, we're going to talk about I-STEP. So all of you know by now, I-STEP, it's required to graduate. You have to pass both parts as well as get all of your credits. But we do want to remind you there's those 2 other options. First option, the waiver. We don't really talk much about it because we don't really look at it unless we have to in the spring or the winter. So what we really have been hitting hard is the pathways, and that's what you guys have been hearing a lot and scheduling for and that kind of stuff. Remember, no one is guaranteed a waiver, and we're going to talk about why. Grad Pathways. There's 3 boxes. You've heard us talk about the boxes. The first box, simply pass all your classes that are required to graduate. Second box, employability skills. Many options for this. Mainly, if you're in a sport, a club, if you've been involved in ROTC, or if you've been working, you have a job, you've worked minimum 75 hours, we get those verification forms turned in from you, boom, box 2 is done. Now, if last year I spoke to one of you during scheduling or at any time and you told me you were not working, but you want to start looking for a job or want to join a club, and you have since then, please shoot me an email. I'll call you down. We'll get you the information so you can get box 2 knocked out. Box 3. There's many options for box 3, but we tend to focus on 2 main parts here because they seem to be the easiest ones to get as many students completed. The ASVAB test, as Mr. Green talked about, coming up in September. We have a lot of students that passed that last year. We want all of you to show up and do your best on that. We also utilize the CTE pathways, which is 6 credits, average grade C- or higher. So in your pathway classes this year, that's going to be an important part of completing your pathway. Once you have completed Box 2 and Box 3, you no longer take the I-STEP test anymore, or the ASVAB for that matter. So very important to focus on this in the fall here as we move into your senior year. These are the two forms that we use, the employment and the extracurricular verification form. If I gave you one and you lost it, you didn't get it back to me, let me know and I'll get you a new one. And then lastly, the waiver. This is what we use if we need to use it, but the minimum GPA for your core classes needs to be a C average, and your 95% attendance rate, what Mr. Morgan was talking about, that is unexcused absences. If you have too many unexcused absences and your 95% attendance rate is not there, you do not qualify for waiver. So that's why we don't like to really rely on this. We want to try to get you the pathways, so if something were to happen and you don't qualify for a waiver, we have a backup plan.
So like we talked about a little bit earlier, ASVAB, it's going to be September 5th. And in order to support you guys, have tutors and some people who have donated their time. Ms. Hernandez, Mr. Tyree, Ms. Moeller, all will be available. So starting on Monday after school, they'll be available an hour after school to help with this practice. And if you would like this opportunity, then there's a sign-up sheet in the back. Just put your name on it, then I'll get a hold of you and I'll find out what day is best for you, and we'll put you in the right classroom so that you can have access to the tutoring. If you cannot make it to tutoring, then we have 2 presentations that are self-taught, and there's a math one at the top and an English one at the bottom, and Ms. Bodine made these, and there's some videos on there to help, and there's practice exam questions. Again, at the end of this, if you would, go look at the top to see your school name, and then if it's up there, and in the place, the location where you'll be taking the test. All right, so moving on.
And just a little reminder about the Khan Academy. If you want to utilize that as a resource, it should improve your test scores. That's SAT, ACT, and ASVAB. So remember that is available to everyone. And moving on to some more fun stuff. After high school, hopefully most of you have started thinking about this, have talked to your parents about this. There's a lot of options out there. What's going to be best for you? If you're interested in just going straight into the workforce, we will try to set up some field trips this year to companies that are looking for employees. So we will try to get you guys set up with checking those out and see if that would be a good fit for you if you want to go straight to getting a job. If you're interested in a trade school and you're taking Walker Career Center courses, talk to those teachers, make sure you are doing the right things to get set up for that, to attend a trade school. Then, of course, 2-year, 4-year colleges, make sure you guys are trying to do college visits this school year so you can get on those colleges and see if it's a good fit for you, and talk to their academic advisors at those colleges. Real quick about special programs. Of course, we have our 21st Century Scholars. We need to remember we need a 2.5 GPA when we graduate. So if you're not quite there, you need to be working on it this school year. Mr. Craig Clark will be calling you down at some point if he hasn't done so already to review with you what you need to be doing this school year. IU groups, that's a special program through IU Bloomington. Ms. Lindenberg did send an email to everybody about that. If you were interested, you needed to contact her to get the application for that, which is due in November. Just keep in mind of the requirements to get into IU Bloomington. There's other 2 down here at the bottom. Ivy Tech ASAP and Marian University, they both have really good programs that we like to talk about because they're kind of unique. Ivy Tech ASAP, that is a 1-year accelerated program that you can get a 2-year associate's degree and then transfer to a 4-year college and essentially graduate college in 3 years instead of 4. So I believe there's a 2.5 GPA requirement for that. And then Marian University just started a brand new thing this school year. You can go and do a 2-year associate's degree while you do a paid internship. So you would work 3 days a week, take classes 2 days a week. That's a good opportunity for many of you to make money while you go to school. So if you are interested in either one of those, email me, and I will pass your name on to Mr. Clark, and he will call you down to give you more information about that. College visit presenters. Colleges come into our school. They give presentations throughout the week. We have new ways to sign up for that this school year. I'm not going to read all this, but just understand you have to sign into your Naviance account once you're in Clever. So when Ms. Lindenberg emails this out today, you can go back and look at these directions to make sure you're doing that. But we have to kind of go through this process to get a pass from Mr. Thompson to attend those meetings. Similarly, we have campus visits. Hopefully many of you are able to do college visits this fall. We tend to recommend do those over October break on weekends, but we understand you might need to do that during a school day. So I believe we get one excused school day for this per semester. Obviously, if you're going to go across the country to a special college, contact one of us because those are special circumstances. SATs and ACTs, hopefully most of you who are planning on going to a four-year college have taken this already. If you have not, make sure you sign up for the first test as soon as possible. All 21st century scholars need to make sure they are taking one of these tests, but if you are planning on going to Ivy Tech or Vincennes or something like that, that is not a requirement, so keep that in mind. Just remember, you need to take your photo ID with you, and you need to print out your admission ticket to bring that with you the day of the tests. And a little bit more about SAT. Fee waivers. How do I qualify for a fee waiver? If you are a 21st century scholar, if you are on free or reduced lunch, or you were on textbook assistance, or if you're in foster care, you do qualify for a fee waiver. So Mr. Thompson at the front desk in the CSC, you need to see him, and he will verify that you are on textbook assistance. He will give you a waiver, and you will take that with you to sign up. Now, signing up for one of these tests is 100% your responsibility. I know a lot of you have been emailing me about how do I do this. We have put all the information, how-to videos, everything's on Google Classroom. But we do understand that you might need some help doing some stuff. So what we typically ask is that you try to get it done, try to do it yourself. If you run into some problems, we will be available, actually starting today, during your lunch periods in G132. You must get a pass from Mr. Thompson before that in the CSC. So you can stop in the CSC, tell Mr. Thompson you need a pass and what day you want it for. It will be Mondays and Thursdays. You will need that pass to get out of your lunchroom, and you will need that pass to enter G132. But we will be available during lunch to help you sign up for the test and use a waiver if you need that. SAT dates are on here. You can refer to that later, and Ms. Lindenberg is up.
Okay, for those of you planning on attending 2- and 4-year colleges, college applications are now open for you to start the applications if you have not already done so. The biggest thing with college applications, number one, start on the specific school's website in order to get their application. Some schools will have you apply directly from their website. Some of them will take you to what's called the Common App, and then you can apply to a bunch of different schools at one time. So just start at whatever school you want to go to, and then it will take you in the correct direction from there. Then when it's time to get your transcript, please do not email Mr. Geimer for a copy of your transcript, because that is not what he does. In order for it to be official and to be what the school needs, it needs to come from Parchment. We have talked about Parchment before. Make sure you go in and set up your account. All of the directions and the how-to video are already on Google Classroom, so you've had access to that for a while. When you make your account, please use your personal email. Do not use your Warren email. The reason being is because you might need a copy of your transcript after you graduate from here. The second you graduate, your Warren email is deactivated. So if your Warren email doesn't work, your account will not work. So you need to use a personal email so that if you need a transcript a couple years down the road, you still have access to your account. Make sure when you're signing up for the SAT and ACT that you are choosing schools to send your test scores to. You can send them to up to 4 or 5 schools for free, as long as you send them when you are signing up to choose your test date and all of that. Now, if you have to go back and send them to schools, you will have to pay for that. A lot of schools are wanting test scores directly from ACT or College Board. We put your test scores on your transcripts, but that's not going to count for everybody. So make sure you're paying attention to that as well when you're applying to different schools. Letters of recommendation, a lot of those are recommended, but they're not required. If you are wanting to get letters of recommendation, please make sure that you give your teachers and your coaches at least 2 weeks notice for those, just because they do have busy schedules and they want to be able to have time to sit down and write a good letter of recommendation. Also, make sure you're providing them with some type of educational resume so that they know everything that you guys are involved in, because there's a lot of stuff that you are involved in and that your teachers might not be aware of. So make sure you provide them with a resume, and then be sure to thank them after they do it, because that could be the difference between you getting into a school or not getting into a school, those letters of recommendation. And then lastly, priority applications. So any early action, early decision, those of you that are trying to get some money through the school, those applications have to be completed by October 31st. That is the deadline. Now, you can apply to college after that, and you can apply to college second semester, but if you are trying to get some money, or if you are trying to meet that early action, early decision deadline, you have to apply by October 31st. So keep that in mind. And then again, with your transcripts, all of that goes through Parchment. Please do not email Mr. Geimer, because he's just going to tell you to go to Parchment. Use a different email address, not your Warren email. And then also, there have been a couple of you that have made profiles and you put 2019 instead of 2020 for your graduation year. You need to go through and change that. You have to put 2020 so that you don't get charged for your transcript, because as long as you are a student here, you can request a transcript for free. Once you graduate, you have through the month of June, and then starting July 2020, it will cost you $2 or $3 to get a copy of your transcript, but hopefully you've sent them everywhere that needs them by that point, so you won't have to worry about paying for it. Okay, financial aid. This is how you get free money for school, so it's going to be really important. It's all based on your parents' tax information, so you will need help from parents and guardians. It opens October 1st. The earlier you do it, the more money you're likely to get. We will be having a FAFSA night the night of Career Fest, so that your parents can come in. We'll be working in a computer lab, so they can come in and fill out the FAFSA with somebody to help them. It can be kind of confusing and super overwhelming the first time you do it, and we understand that. So if your parents have questions, please make sure you share this date with them. We'll also send out the phone calls, and we'll be on the announcements and all of that to remind them, but let them know that we will be having a help session to where they can come in, use one of our computers, and fill it out here with us. And yes, it will be. All of this information will be shared with you, again, because we're going kind of fast. Okay, those of you that are interested in the military after high school, we do have recruiters that are assigned to Warren Central. They will, if they have not already started, be coming to lunches. So if you are interested in the Navy or the Air Force or the Army, make sure you're going up and introducing yourself and talking to those recruiters so you can get more information. They are going to have a lot better information than what Mr. Geimer and myself are going to be able to provide to you, because they're the ones that are living it and have been through everything. Also, those of you that have either completed a pathway or have passed the ASVAB, but you're interested in going to the military, if you want to take the ASVAB here, please let Mr. Geimer know so we can get you on the list. That way you don't have to schedule time outside of school to take that. Okay, please be sure that you're checking your email. Some of you are not super great at checking your emails. I know that you will email Mr. Geimer, and then he will respond to you, and then you will never read his response. There's also scholarship information that gets emailed out to you, so you are missing out on free money if you don't check your email. And then this presentation and all of the important information for the year will be sent to you through your email. You have to remember that there's 4 of us, adults in this cohort, and there's almost 900 of you. So that is the easiest way for us to communicate with all of you quickly. So please, please, please get in the habit of checking your email on a regular basis. Okay, College Go Week. That is a week to kind of celebrate the whole application process, going to college, applying for college, all of that. There will be a lot of schools that offer free applications that week. We will give you that information as it gets closer. We're also having a college application day that we're in the process of planning, but we will have a time where you guys could come to a computer lab during the school day and apply for colleges. There will be contests so you can win free stuff, but all of that will come later in the month. Okay, these resources will be emailed to you, but if you have any questions, this is a good place to start. Okay, diploma form. So you guys on Naviance will see a graduation diploma form. That is where you're going to type your name for your high school diploma. It needs to be your full government name, so whatever's on your birth certificate. So if you go by a nickname, you need to put your full name on the birth certificate, on the diploma. Please make sure that it matches correctly. If your name is hyphenated, you need to put both names. If you have a middle name, you guys need to decide whether you want a middle initial or your full middle name typed out on your diploma. If you are a junior or the second or the third, you guys need to figure out if you want that on your diploma as well. So please make sure you are going and talking with parents at home before you fill out this form so you know that you're putting the correct name. Yes, that video will be able to play for you guys so you can see step by step of how to fill out the form. And then lastly, senior pictures. So those of you, if you've looked at the yearbooks before, you notice that the senior pictures always look a little different than the other classes. So you guys will go through LifeTouch to get your senior photos taken. This information is all I have right now. They have specific dates set up where you will go to their studio to get your pictures taken. They used to come here to do that. They do not do that anymore. So you will have to go to them. That needs to be completed by the end of first semester if you would like the professional headshot taken for the yearbook. So please keep that in mind. Again, make sure you're checking your email on a regular basis and watching announcements. Okay, the last 10 minutes. We are going to hear information from Herf Jones. This is where you're getting your diploma, not your diploma, your cap and gown, and all of your other fun senior stuff.
Thank you. Yes, we do actually provide the diplomas as well, but the information that you guys are receiving is a senior packet. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me here. We just have 10 minutes left, all right? You've received a lot of information related to graduation. Just keep your hand up. I don't know if you need to talk with one of them. They'll come around to you. You've received a lot of information, okay? A lot of items on your checklist as you're working towards graduation and then your next steps once you have graduated from Warren Central, okay? So my mission, my goal is to help you guys celebrate graduation at the end of the school year. I hope everyone can participate in graduation. So make sure you take care of those things. But also make sure that you take care of this as well. This is important. We want to help you guys celebrate. So my name is Thomas with Herf Jones. We are a local company here in Indianapolis. We've worked with Warren Central graduates for many, many years. And again, talking with you today about graduation. So this senior packet has all the information that you guys need related to graduation. Want to hit on a few key points in this packet and on the envelope. On the outside, you'll see on the top left, the order days. Those are the days we are on campus. There are 6 days we are here throughout the school year. More than that, actually, but those are the 6 days that you have the opportunity to come and speak with us, to place your order. You have the chance to look at samples that we'll have on our table, including ring samples. You can get your finger sized if you're interested in that, as well as senior swag items we'll have on sample on our tables as well. We set up for our ordering every single one of these days. We set up tables in the East Cafe at the entrance to the Commons area. So it's very easy to come and find us on any of these days. You'll also notice that the first day we're here, Thursday, September the 12th, we are here until 6 p.m.
Okay, so that gives a chance for your parents, your guardians at home to come in with you after school to place your order or answer any questions that you have. Okay? So those are our order days. Also on the front, contact information section. You see our office phone number. This is a little bit lower down there by the pictures of the cap and gowns. Contact information. So we have our phone number and our email address listed. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us by phone or email. We're happy to help you guys at any time. If you miss us on any of the order days, or you're just super excited to get your order in right away, or you want to just take a look at things online, our website is on the back of the packet, herfjones.com. Same idea as the senior photos. You just type in Warren Central, that'll take you to the school page, and then you can look through any items that you're interested in and place your order. Again, herfjones.com. All right, so we're going to take a look at some of the items inside of the packet. So first item is the senior order form. It's folded in half. Looks like this. Senior order form. Take that out. We're going to talk about different sections on the order form. Section number 1, the contact information section. That is the most important section on the order form. What we need for you guys to do is write in your contact information legibly so that we can read it. If you plan on ordering any items that are printed with your name on them, we have name cards, personalized stationery, a few other items that will have your name on them. It's the same idea as the diploma ordering. You have to put in your name as you want it to be printed. Okay, so if you include your middle initial, that's how we'll print it. If you include your full middle name, that's how we will print it. No middle name, that's how we'll print it. However you list it is how we will print it. Please also make sure to include a good phone number and a good email address. We will send you guys information related to balances owed on your order, when we'll be on campus for delivery, and then we can reach out to you as well with any questions that we'll have based off of that contact information. All right, so once you filled in your contact information, there's 3 different ways you guys can place an order with us. Option number 1, senior packages. That is section 2, the blue section on the order form, section 2. There are 4 different packages available for you guys. Why would you consider a package? Each package includes your cap and gown. That's the one item you need for graduation. You absolutely have to have that to walk across the stage. Reason number 2, benefits to you for the packages. There's a variety of senior products and swag items included in them. Okay, those are going to address your needs for graduation and help you celebrate senior year. And you'll see that you receive a variety of those items right away. They're marked with an asterisk underneath the listing for the packages. Reason number 3, you save money with a package. Everybody likes to do that. Reason number 4, if you're interested in a senior class ring, we have that included in senior package number 3, and you can add it to senior package number 4. That will save you a lot of money. If you're interested in a ring, look at senior packages 3 and 4. If you're not interested in a package, that's totally fine. The section right below that, section 3, the red section in the middle of the order form, that's where you can order individual items. Okay, you can order any individual items that fit your need and fit your budget. If you order a package, you can of course add individual items as well. That's totally fine. We're here to celebrate you and want to help you out any way you want to do that. All right, so that's option number 2, itemized orders. Option number 3, in your packet you have a blue flyer. It looks like this. This is the 3rd way you can order with this. This is called the senior combos. These are essentially smaller packages. Okay, they again include the cap and gown, and then a variety of the senior swag items you'll receive right away. These also save you money, so this is a good way for you guys to order as well if you're interested. So those are the 3 different ways you can order with us. Going back to the senior order form, once you have figured out what you are ordering, mark that on the order form. The second most important section you can fill out, other than the contact section, is section 4, the purple section, down towards the bottom of the order form. It says cap and gown. What we need for you guys to do here is to fill in the empty box, if you are a male or a female, how tall you are in shoes, so that's especially important for the ladies. If you plan to wear heels at graduation, include your height in heels, and then your approximate weight. We tailor the gowns to fit you based off of what you provide for your height and your weight. If you don't know, come May or whenever graduation is, if you're going to be wearing heels, that's okay. We will have extra cap and gowns available. You can always do an even exchange if you need to for the gown to fit you a little bit more appropriately. Again, section 4, the cap and gown section, make sure you fill that out because the cap and gown is the one item you absolutely need to have for graduation. If you have any questions, I'm here at the entrance to the auditorium, so come and see me before you go back to class. Also, real fast, if any of your classmates you noticed are not with us in here in the pack today, we will have extra packets available through the guidance office and the main office. They can pick those up, so make sure to share the information with them. We hope you guys have a great year. We look forward to working with you, and go Warriors.
All right, so remember what Mr. Morgan said about graduation. Keep all that in the back of your head this school year when you guys go to make a decision. And if you need some help, let me know, but you guys have all the information you need. Mr. Green's in the back for ASVAB tutoring. Sign up if you are interested.